My dream for New Orleans is simple. I want my babies to grow up in a safe and inspiring city. A city stronger than I've ever seen it. A city that has leadership that sits down with everyone. Leadership that brings everyone to the table. Leadership that makes sure everyone is safe. Leadership that doesn't get complacent. Leadership that understands the struggles that all of us have. Who will take the reins? Who will bring ethical standards back to City Hall? I'm on a mission to find them. So let's do it together. I'm here live. I want to introduce somebody to you. So we are about to welcome Mr. Arthur Hunter to the show. And I can't wait to talk to him about the things that we need to talk about. But first, I met a new friend over at Ruby Slipper in Mid-City. Y'all check out the Mid-City location. Come on in here. Come on in here. All right, what's your name?
Michael McBride.
Michael McBride. You guys, did you know that upstairs in the Mid-City location, everything magical with Ruby Slipper, Ruby Sunshine?
That's right.
Everything is upstairs. He's the regional, what?
Vice President of Operations.
He's a big deal. I mean, I know Jennifer, she popped it in her brain and stuff, but you big. I'm so thankful again for y'all hosting our interviews. You guys, they are the real deal, and I'm so appreciative. And if you guys are ready, I'm ready. If you're ready, let's do it. Oh boy, you guys. I am with Mr. Judge Arthur Hunter. You guys, I've learned a lot in about 10 minutes time. Thanks to Miss Emma. I knew you had clout. I knew you, people's eyebrows was raising. I didn't know you, Mr. Hunter, but now I do and understand. I talked to Mr. Marc Morial about you. And when the eyebrows raise and I see a light, he did that with you.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Mark and I go back a long way. I mean, we practiced law together. Worked in with his administration when he was mayor, and we're still friends. We're still in contact to this day, and we exchange ideas.
I can tell because he seemed a little inspired by your name when I brought it up, and I love that. So it kind of took me, because you're kind of hard to get. Now I've been trying to schedule this, and we just fixed it. It was a security issue on the Instagram, so I tagged him, and as soon as I tagged you, you got back to me. Yes, you did. So I appreciate that. And now this is what we're going to do. This is the hot potato. Okay, I tend to talk over people. So what I'm going to do is take my spiel, and I'm going to hand it to you so I don't talk over or anything like that, and it's a fun, orderly thing.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
If you want to do it, let's talk. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Now, can you scoot a little more? Yeah. Now let's look at the camera. There you are. All right. Take a sip. All right, we're coming around the bend, y'all. We got Judge Arthur Hunter, and then we have Senator Royce DePlessis after this airs. So I have gotten the 411 on these candidates, and I can't wait to talk about your platform because you guys, this man got clout. Okay, he got clout. I knew when Mr. Mark's eyebrows raised, I needed to pay attention, and I did. And coming to find out, his table of conversation is huge. The people that respect this man is there. You hear? not the Mississippi accent. It's there. It's there. And I welcome you, and I can't wait to hear more about the specifics. So, Judge Arthur Hunter, he's not a judge anymore, but for 20-something years you were, right?
23 years.
That's right.
I was a judge in criminal district. I was a judge in criminal district court right up the street, Tulane and Broad. But before that, look, let me just tell you about me. You know, I grew up in New Orleans East. You know, went to public school, so I went to St. Aug. Played North football. You know, played football at St. Aug on the state championship team, the first one. Went 15-0. Coach Otis Washington was my head football coach. Coach Eddie Flint was my defensive backfield coach. And went to University of Michigan my freshman year. Thought I was going to be an NFL football player until I came across a 235-pound fullback. And I was playing strong safety, and I took him on. We both ended up on the ground. He got up, I didn't. And blew out my knee, and I came back to New Orleans. And when I got back to New Orleans, I went to Loyola University. And after graduating from Loyola, okay, good. Wolfpack, yes. And after graduating from Loyola University, I joined the New Orleans Police Department. And while on the New Orleans Police Department, I also went to Loyola's law school at night, working my way through. And after graduating from law school, I resigned from the New Orleans Police Department. I was a lawyer for 11 years, in which I practiced everyday law, you know, at Legion Fields in North Miro with Herbert Cade and Bobby Jones. And after 11 years of practicing law, I ran for judge. And I was fortunate enough, you know, the voters to, to allow me to serve as a judge for 23 years.
Wow. And that's when you dropped the mic. No, that's cocky. Hold this real quick.
But in a way, you're sort of right. After 23 years, I sort of did drop the mic.
Exactly. And through that time, I bet you were able to create some relationships, and a change of tide might have happened. Now, Miss Emma was telling me some of the not incentives, but these programs that you've created that you helped create with these mammoth organizations and businesses. I mean, it's so important in our city to get these children to find outlets to create their magic. And can you tell us some of those programs that you've put forth in the past?
Sure. Look, let me tell you about the program I'm so proud of with our kids. You know, Ron Bechet and I, Ron was the chair of the art department at Xavier. So I would get a kid who would come before me, and if I thought he had the skill in art, I would ask him to draw something. And so I would give him a legal pad and a pen, and while he's at the table, handcuffed, would draw the most marvelous art.
Handcuffed?
While handcuffed.
Wow.
And I was sending it to Ron, and I said, Ron, we got to do something about kids with art skills. Because look, Ron and I came together. We had a 2.5-hour lunch at Lil Digits over red beans and rice and fried chicken. And so we came up with the Young Artist Movement. And basically it is a art program for kids in which we pair our kids with established artists like B. Mike and Jade Meyer and others. And not only do we teach them the skill of art, but also the business of art. And so our kids get paid $15 an hour for drawing murals across the city. Now, I don't know if you know this, Eric, but there's a mural of the jail wall off the interstate. Mm-hmm. Our kids did that, you know. And you know who paid for that wall?
Who's that?
Apple. And so I was able.
Apple the phone?
Apple the phone.
The phone that's recording this right now?
Apple, that's the one. That's the one. And so I was able to bring them to the table. So able to bring them to the table, and they are now investing in our kids over the last 3 years close to $1 million. Wow. That's one of the programs I started.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you create these awesome programs, are you getting a good a feedback from the artists, and we're able to actually make it happen?
Oh yes. Look, you know what it's about? It's about delivering results.
Yes.
Making people's lives better.
Yes.
You know. And with kids, and this is what I want to do when I become mayor, is expand not just art, but music, STEM, you know, and other activities for our children to have. Because our kids need an outlet. If we put our kids on the path to success, and also if there are any issues in that house as well, we're going to have a different city.
Mm-hmm.
Really, we're going to have a safe city.
Mm.
Because if we can get the neighborhood safe, you know, it won't matter if you have 800 cops or 1,800 cops. If we get that neighborhood safe, we have a different city. And I always have this expression I always say, you know, if you save one person, you can save a family. And when you save a family, you save the neighborhood. And when you save the neighborhood, you save the city. One person at a time, one family at a time.
Wow. Oh, hold that thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's so cool. That is amazing, Mr. Hunter. I can call you Mr. Hunter.
No, you can call me Arthur.
Oh God, I can't do that. Okay.
Whatever makes you comfortable.
Okay, Arthur. All right. I'll forget and then I'll go back. But okay, Arthur. So I love that you think outside the box.
Yes.
Okay? You look at the attributes of our community of what maybe you don't see, but you see past what you don't see that could be. And to me, that is a trailblazer. Okay, that's someone that is not programmed to think like everybody else, that you think outside the box. And I want to ask you something that really is important to me and my family. And I know y'all sick of it, but get over it. I want to talk about Airbnb, okay? Because the city council has been asleep at the wheel on this topic for years. And as I ran a restaurant in the quarter, and I saw over 10 years the depletion of not only the economic engine, but the fabric of the voting precincts, the neighbors, you know, my locals that would come in disappeared because they didn't want these, you know, tourist traps, because that's what it is. It's trash. Okay. And now what's happening, Mr. Hunter? See, I did it. Mr. Hunter, Arthur, is the homeowners like me that have space in their house. When we bought the house, it was okay. So we paid the money for the house, but now we're denied. And we live in our own house. We're super hosts. We have welcomed people all over the world that love our city, strategically sought out for New Orleans. But we can't do it because there's one per block. I question you, Arthur, for home dwellers. Do you see a difference than a slum landlord? Like, I don't understand why we're put in the same basket.
Look, my grandmother lived on Piety Street, and right around the corner from the Desire Project. And when they were building the project, she let out a couple of rooms to the workers. So I know what you're going through. And, you know, the problem is having those corporate Airbnbs. That's the problem. We need to be more individual home owner, you know, more family oriented. That's where we need to be in our Airbnbs. And we need to have the proper regulation, because you can't treat one class different than another class. But we have to find that perfect regulation where everybody is happy. What you know we also need to do too is have more housing, increase our housing stock in New Orleans as well. That would go a long way too, to bring back our neighborhoods as well.
Definitely. I question. You think outside the box. You're an innovator. I know it. It is a passion, I think. Why can't New Orleans create our own short-term rental service that, because everybody comes to New Orleans year-round. Like every 3 months, I got chill bumps. That's when you know it's a good idea, when I get chill bumps, okay? So every 3 months, there's something huge here. Why can't New Orleans create its own organized and orderly short-term service that's better than Airbnb, that's better than VRBO, that's better than the nurses' trash app? Let me just say, the worst customer service you ever saw was that nurses thing. Why can't New Orleans create our own short-term? Is that a possibility, you think?
Look, I've got a record of bringing people together, you know, to deal with our problems and start things new. But that takes leadership to do that, you know. And you know what kind of leadership that is? That when you're at the table, you make sure you have the right people there. And you make sure they do their jobs. But also, as the leader, your voice can't be the only voice at the table. You know, it can't be your way or the highway. And I don't need anybody stroking my ego. And look, Eric, if I came up with an idea with my different staffs, they were free to say, you know, Judge, that makes no sense, without me getting angry or they fear they're going to lose their job. That's the leadership skills you need to create that atmosphere of thinking outside the box and no idea is dumb. That's what we have to do. And look, in all the programs we start and the policies we start, you're going to have some tweaks and adjustments. And you're going to have some teachable moments too. But if you can't get after a few teachable moments, I got to find somebody else. Because it's not about me or you. It's about providing that service.
Personally. It's business, right?
That's what we have to take care of business. That's what we have to do.
Yes. And you know what? I think that with our situation with Airbnb and we live in the house, that's one thing. But guess what? In New Orleans East, along Lincoln Beach and others, there's the apartments that could be remade into the home dwelling situation and scenarios. So I asked the other candidates where they stood. I like where you come from, okay? So I want to ask this, moving on, because I know you're a busy man. Public safety, okay? Now I'm going to say this, it might ruffle your feathers. I'm a very opinionated person.
Look, you got to remember, you know, I was a New Orleans police officer. You know, I was a lawyer. I'm a lawyer and I'm a judge. So I don't know if that's what I've seen and what I've experienced.
Okay, well, I'll just say it. I don't care for Freddie King, okay? He's wasted space on that council. There is data and information to show for it. And I think that if we're going to get any productivity with a new mayor, we got to make sure that the butts in the seats of the council are solely in that seat for the people and not to waste space. And I know that I have been in contact with his office for years about the nastiness of the French Quarter because I ran the restaurant for 10 years. Okay. Now you see the grossness of the French Quarter, but then you have the terrorist attack in January. Had I been on my butt in that seat, I would have canvassed my district and made sure that I would be able to say at 1:45 myself and Annie canvassed the corner of Iberville and Bourbon. There has to be data, and he has none. He flanks the others' accomplishments, and if we don't get a good council in, then it's going to deflect all the good job that you do or whoever else does. So my question is, how do we hold them accountable?
Look, nobody's held more people accountable than me. But let me say this. The mayor's office and the city council are on an equal plane, equal parts of government, co-branches. When I become mayor, I'm going to work with the city council. And we're going to stop the nonsense of the finger pointing, the who you know rather than what you know, the same old, same old. And look, I'm going to invite them to the table because if a council person has a good idea, we're going to go with it. Because look, if we're going to be able to compete with Atlanta or Houston, we need three things to happen. Three things. The business community, which has to come together. The mayor and the city council have to be on the same page. If we're going to go after businesses to come to our city. Right now, we're competing against Mobile. And Mobile is actually kicking our butts because we're not on the same page. So one of the first things I'm going to do when I become mayor is walk across that hall and sit with those city council persons and invite them to the table. Because as the mayor, nobody knows it all. So you have to invite people to the table with ideas. And if it makes sense, if it comes from a council person, let's do it.
Okay. So I don't think this happens a lot. As a mayor, as the next mayor, are you going to double down and point your finger at a council person that's not doing their job?
I'm going to double down on everybody who's not doing their job, including me. If I'm not doing my job, fire me in 4 years. Fire me in 4 years. Now, you got to remember, too, when I was a criminal district court judge, I was accountable to an appeals court and the Supreme Court, as well as holding other people accountable. So I have an idea about accountability.
You've got the receipts. He got the receipts. So I want to ask, with Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick and learning from the disaster that we have had this year, communication. What's your sign? Your astrological sign.
Virgo.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That's interesting. Makes sense. Okay, so when you say communication with the council and everybody, now it was unfortunate that the information was not distributed to the police or whatever happened. Are you gonna make sure that on day one everybody is informed with the things they already should know? I'm just saying that, but as a refresher.
Not as a refresher, but that's the way we're going to do business. It's going to be about communication. It's going to be about, but also having a plan. How do we want to do things? Why we want to do them? Executing them, making sure we make the changes and adjustments we need to make, and delivering results. At the end of the day, that's what it's about, Eric. How you deliver results to make people's lives better. And that's what I've been about. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm going to do as your next mayor.
He sounds good, you guys. I like Mr. Hunter. So as we're wrapping up, coming around the bend, I want to ask you a little more personal questions. Who inspired you? I'm talking like, you could be in a diaper. You could be watching A Price is Right with your mama like me. Who inspired you?
My parents. I mean, my daddy owned a grocery store, the Delta Supermarket in the Ninth Ward. My mom worked part-time at the Robert Hall Department Store. It was on Gentilly. They set expectations. So it's from my parents, but also from the high school I went to as well, St. Augustine High School. Coach Watts, Coach Flint.
I was going to ask outside of family, who at school saw your talent?
Yeah. It has to be at St. Aug. I mean, St. Aug was the pattern. St. Aug set the cast the die for me to be where I am right now, And those teachers, those priests, they set a tradition, and it's a tradition that carries on to this day, and we have to carry it on forward. It's about the discipline, the preparation, doing the work, and the last thing, doing the right thing. That's what it is, Eric. Doing the right thing.
Yes.
That's what it's about.
Yes. He was raised right. I'm from Mississippi, and I know it, and I've been talking to him for a good 21 minutes now, and your parents really, it starts at home, you guys. I have 3 kids, and, we're judged all the time. I don't care. But at the end of the day, we raise our children with respect and dignity and discipline and accountability and love and kindness and acceptance, all the things that you want the future of our children to put out into the world. And you came from that, and I love it. And the seventh ward, you said?
No, I grew up in the Ninth Ward.
Ninth, excuse me. Okay, so final question. Let me get this. I don't even have it. Let me get it. So October's coming around a few months. What is on your mind as we get closer? The election gets heated up, right? What cabinet are you going to open to pull out something that's newer or new and different and better than the other cabinets from the others?
Climate change. Climate change is big, and I want to not just have climate change policies, that's going to, become career training, job opportunities, and decreasing your homeowner's insurance. I also want to establish a climate change institute here in New Orleans, where we become the experts on climate change in the country. It's where we're located. It's because of Katrina.
Yes,
and
20th anniversary.
Yes, and that Climate Change Institute will involve the local universities and colleges and corporations who are interested in climate change as well. We need to be the experts, the leading experts on climate change in this country.
And if you act like an expert and you have people that are experts, then you attract experts. My mama always said, birds of a feather flock together. Jinx! That's right. Arthur Hunter, I say Harris because of Leslie Harris. I say it every time. I love Leslie so much. I don't know why Harris is stuck, but it's not. It's Judge Arthur Hunter. He's the real deal Holyfield. I knew this before he sat down because Mayor Marc Morial told me. I wish you the best.
I appreciate your support. Anything you can do, Eric. And I appreciate everyone's support as well. And, look, at the end of the day, it's about delivering results, making people's lives better, and having a proven record of doing it, not just saying what you want to do or what you intend to do or what you plan to do, but actually have done it and doing it. And it's what I will do. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm talking to Emma.
Yeah.
Good. Wow. Okay. I'm Papa's gonna have to chew on all this. I'm excited to endorse whoever I'm gonna endorse, and we have a really cool finale coming up at the end of the month. Are you gonna be a part of it?
Oh, yes.
Awesome. And we can't wait for all y'all to be a part of it as well. From my heart to you and yours and you, Emma, and all y'all. This is an important time, and let's all get together. And I send you NOLA love.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it.